This episode of Internet Today is brought to you by Magic Spoon.
Remember last week when we said we'd love to try whatever it is that they've got Trump on? Well, that still stands because this dude looks like he's having a blast. He's out there dancing. He's out there having the time of his life.
He looks happy.
I mean, seriously, he's got to be the only person on earth where getting the coronavirus is like on par with Popeye sucking down a can of spinach through his pipe. It just like goes through his arms, ba-boom, smoke clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with all things Trump related, this would be a hell of a lot funnier if it weren't the fact that he's the president of the United States.
But it's still pretty funny.
It's been a funny week for him as far as just acting like a complete weirdo goes.
Yeah, on the less funny side though, Trump's been in back-to-back in-person events and rallies since Saturday. He is making up for lost time here. But at his first engagement outside the White House since contracting the coronavirus in Florida, of all places, he really got to show off just how good he's feeling by tossing merchandise into the crowd of loyal followers.
Which means he's touching it with his hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
The value goes up the more coronavirus he gets on the merch.
Yeah, this is what I don't get, is shouldn't he still be shedding? I guess I don't know. I guess I just don't know.
Are you smarter than a White House doctor?
I guess not.
He got the all clear.
I would be avoiding the merchandise.
He can't get it. He can't give it. He can't get it.
Yeah.
Sort of his preference for oral sex as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, he tossed a bunch of free shit into the crowd. His fans were going wild. He told them all that he feels so powerful after battling the virus and claiming that he's now immune. He just wants to walk right out into the crowd and, quote, kiss everyone in that audience. Actually, here's just a clip.
I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss.
Fellas, is it gay to kiss the president?
No.
No, I guess not. Or else the evangelicals who support the conservative ticket would have denounced this dude on the spot for trying to run into a crowd and start kissing all the guys in that crowd. Then again, anyone who's actually guided by their faith would have condemned Trump years ago, well before he ran for president. Literally nothing matters when it comes to him as long as he stops abortion and also floods local police departments with money. He can kiss whoever he wants, okay?
Yeah.
It's fine.
He can't control himself.
I mean, he really can't. He is running on all cylinders. Nothing's going to stop him.
He's pure id right now. Anyways, that first rally ended with Trump dancing along to his favorite musical act, The Village People, in an attempt to show off how much energy he has. It was especially cringy, but then again, everything he does is cringy because he's a drugged up senior citizen.
Yeah.
Which again, would typically be funny, but it's actually kind of terrifying because, again, he runs a country. He's the president.
A lot of people saying he was doing the SpongeBob dance. I was saying he looks like the ending of Hereditary. Doing this number. That you can always tell, as people pointed out online, the best dance moves are the ones where your feet do not leave the ground.
That's right.
You have to stay put. So you don't break anything.
He's got those lifts. He can't move his feet.
Yeah, no, he it looks like he locked into like the Michael Jackson lean thing. I don't know how he does it, but the man, he has a unmatchable sense of balance. Into general election nonsense, though. Remember all those worries that everyone had about this election being a goddamn nightmare? Well, it turns out that, this shit sucks. And there have already been some pretty alarming reports dealing with voter registration, in-person voting, and ballot boxes. Now, over in Virginia, quote, an accidentally cut cable caused the entire Virginia voter registration system to go down for hours on the last day to register to vote before Election Day.
Accidentally.
Yeah. Oh,
conveniently.
Did I cut that wire? Oh, geez.
Oh, and it's the one that goes. Oh, geez. Well.
Listen.
Better luck next election.
Who could have guessed that the one wire that controlled the voter registration outlet on the last day would have been the one we cut?
Yeah.
Can't believe it. Whatever. Now here in California, quote, the California Republican Party has admitted responsibility for placing more than 50 deceptively labeled official drop boxes for mail-in ballots in Los Angeles, Fresno, and Orange counties, an action that state officials said was illegal and could lead to voter fraud.
Yeah, this is wild. So, the California Secretary of State and Attorney General sent a cease and desist to the state and county level Republican parties, but a spokesman for the California Republican Party said, quote, the party would continue to distribute the boxes without adding any label identifying them explicitly as Republican ballot drops. So Gavin Newsom did get a little more aggressive with it since then, but he still hasn't said he's going to do anything.
Yeah. I also.
So yeah, there's just ballot boxes out in the wild that are mislabeled. You might just be literally throwing your ballot in the trash.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the conspiracy thing here, the tinfoil hat. I mean, it's odd that these are actually popping up in places that you would typically assume conservative votes would be dropped. That's in front of churches and gun stores and stuff like that. But since California is considered a loss for Trump already, it might be that these boxes are taking, maybe they'll scoop them up weeks after the election and be like, look at all these Trump votes that are missing. Where did these all come from? You see, the election is riddled with fraud.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, the only other thing I could think of is like maybe, I don't know if there's any way on the outside of your mail-in ballot to even identify who sent it. Mm-hmm. But if there is like some sort of barcode system, they might be scanning them and be like, okay, this person's Democrat, throw this one away, keep the Republican ones. I don't know. The whole thing's just weird.
Yeah, it's very suspicious. And if you wanted to get ultra nefarious with it, I'm sure that there are databases somewhere with information on people. Yeah. And it's like, but are people going to sit there and go through all these things? I think it's more of like, hey, let's look at all these ballots we found, or any other number of reasons.
The simplest explanation, though, and still the most infuriating one, is that what they're doing is what is commonly referred to as ballot harvesting, which is a thing where organizations will collect people's ballots for them to save them the time and trouble of turning it in themselves for convenience sake and to make sure the ballots get in. Which, if that was the case and if they was labeled, accurately,
such, yes,
there wouldn't be any problem with it. But Republicans, this past year especially, they've all come out against ballot harvesting as
but
if it's like this insidious fucking thing. But it's okay when they do it in like the creepiest possible way.
Yeah, and then just being like, all right, well, the state told us not to, but we're not going to do it. We're going to keep putting them up, and it's going to get even crazier.
California Republican Party is a weird party. They haven't really held any power for over a decade at this point. Which is strange compared to the rest of the country.
Well, and that's what's weird about California, too, is there's so many actual conservative counties and cities that exist within California.
But even on that end of things, they're like Orange County went completely blue in 2018 for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And Orange County is notoriously Republican. Mm-hmm. So even down there, they don't hold a majority anymore.
Anyways, if you do live in California, please look into your local ballot boxes to verify locations and exactly what they look like.
Yeah, I think Google does a good job if you just look up ballot box in my area.
I turned mine in today into an official one. I voted today. Pat myself on the back. But with the form that you get, it shows based on your zip code the 5 closest official ballot boxes.
Yeah.
Or you can just drop it in the mail. It's free to mail it. So that's also an option. But just look, figure it out. It's pretty easy to figure out. Just don't get duped.
Yeah, don't be a rube. Mm-hmm. Anyway, as for how in-person voting's going, not great.
No.
People around the country are reporting in and sharing photos and videos of lines that have wait times upwards of 8 hours, 10 hours, even 12 hours in some cases. Really seems like the richest country on earth should at least do somewhat of a better job trying to prove that it cares about free and fair elections. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, when you see people that are like, yeah, I finally voted. I waited 12 hours in line. It's just like, how is this a problem?
So in Georgia, they're claiming we didn't expect this many people. The turnout this election, especially in swing states or states where a Senate seat or congressional seat might swing, is especially high. And
you know what would resolve a lot of these problems? Mail-in voting.
Yes, exactly. And they have early voting in these places. This is stretched out for 2 weeks. That accounts for plenty of time. But a lot of people were obviously very enthusiastic to get it in there as soon as possible.
Yeah, I want to get my vote in now so that if there's any delays, I get mine in.
But it shouldn't be this hard.
No.
It should absolutely not be this hard to cast a fucking vote.
No.
Anyway, there's no reason at all for any of this. We're perfectly capable of having this run a lot more smoothly. It's almost like it's being done on purpose, which, I don't know, let's look over at Texas. Governor Greg Abbott has limited the amount of ballot boxes to 1 per county in the state of Texas. And Texas is big.
Yeah, it's huge.
The county's also pretty big.
So
that might make sense in a county with an extremely low population, maybe. But even then, the distance
It's huge.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we have these guys that drive around in white trucks every day. They come right by your house. They'll drop stuff off. They'll take it away. They'll get it to where you need it to go.
We've built over hundreds of years, we've built this infrastructure that works actually great, despite what some people would have you think.
What if those guys just took care of this for us?
But like, okay, if it's in a small county with a small population, one ballot box, that makes sense.
Texas is mostly empty, but when it's not empty, it's packed.
Yeah.
Like Harris County, population 4.7 million. That's where Houston is.
One ballot box.
One fucking ballot box. That's insane.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But guess what? The local courts were like, yep, guess what?
That's like
we're going to do it.
That's like if the city of Los Angeles had one ballot box.
Yes. It's
not the county, because LA County is like 13 million. But the city of LA is like, I think, around 4 million.
Well, just think about driving across Houston to get to the ballot box.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've been to Houston, but I've seen pictures of it, and it's an urban fucking nightmare. Fuck that. Yes. Fuck that.
Look, here's what we're saying. Stop. After this video, take some time, start right now, figure out how to vote.
Yeah, come up with a plan.
Figure out how early you can vote, if you can vote by mail, if you have to drop it off, or if you have to vote in person, just figure it out now and get it done as early as you're legally able to. We're not going to mince words here. This election is going to be insane.
Yeah.
And the implications of a certain outcome could be catastrophic. It's going to get bad. So get it done.
Yeah.
Take the time that you need.
Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah. Please look up the information on your local propositions, by the way, your local measures, local level politicians.
Vote no on 22
if
you live in California.
Fuck the rideshare people.
Fuck the rideshare companies.
They spent $100 million to prove that they can't pay their employees.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. Do whatever you need to do to take an educated stance on your local elections. They very much matter, even if your state is like guaranteed for one candidate or the other.
Yeah.
You can still affect your local races.
There's probably at least one thing on your ballot that could really, realistically swing things in the right direction.
Florida has minimum wage on the ballot. I feel like it's been on the ballot every single time.
What is it right now, like $4.50?
Florida, I think, is like $8, but they're trying to get up to $15.
Yeah, it should be.
And I would go ahead and say that, yes, it's probably good to get, by the time minimum wage gets to $15 an hour, it's going to be completely useless.
Yeah.
Because the cost of living will have continues to rise, and that hasn't risen forever.
Yeah. Transition into less election stuff and more into just general news and tomfoolery, chicanery, whatnot. But first, let's take one vital decision off of your plate and give you the inside scoop on eating good food and feeling good about it with today's sponsor, Magic Spoon. I mean, we all loved eating sugary cereal when we were kids, right? You wake up, you put on some cartoons, and you just pour bowl after bowl of that good stuff.
Because it didn't matter back then.
That kid loud.
Had that metabolism.
Yeah. And as adults, it can be fun too, but it does start to feel like you're eating dessert. And it's not really that good for you. This year especially, we've all been trying to cut down on bad stuff, but luckily with Magic Spoon, that doesn't mean having to cut out cereal.
Magic Spoon is great tasting cereal with 0 sugar, 11 grams of protein, and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving, clocking in at just 110 calories.
And it tastes real good.
Yes.
I've been eating it every morning.
They've got 4 flavors to choose from: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and blueberry, and you can try all of them out in a variety pack, which is what we did.
Yeah, I don't think I'd had a bowl of cereal in at least 15 years.
Listen, I love cereal.
I loved it as a kid, and I don't know if this is less sweet tasting than kids' cereal, but it's just the right amount of sweetness for me.
Yes. It's cereal for adults.
All 4 flavors are good. I think the blueberry might be my favorite.
I like frosted just because I don't want to name the big brand, but that's what I loved as a kid. So it is a wonderful replacement for that.
Yeah. Anyway, Magic Spoon is keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free. We don't know how they do it, but it tastes good, and they take all the worries off your plate or out of your bowl. So you can just enjoy that cereal guilt-free. Check out Magic Spoon by clicking the link below to grab a variety pack and use our promo code TODAYDAILY at checkout to get free shipping. Or you can also just head to magicspoon.com/todaydaily for the same deal. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked.
Click the link in the description below and use promo code TODAYDAILY, or head to magicspoon.com/todaydaily for free shipping on your Magic Spoon purchase today.
All right, back to the news now. We did say no more politics. But this next one, it doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Just shows off how much of a grifter Kanye West is and how much of a joke his 2020 presidential campaign turned out to be.
Also, on my ballot, did someone co-opt his name as their vice presidential pick?
The California ballot, he's listed as the running mate of this guy, Rocky, who like runs in every election for some position. Like the last 10 elections, he's been on the ballot.
Was that capacity. Did Kanye even know about that?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
You know, it'd be great if I put Kanye West as vice president, because then people would vote for me because they think they're voting for. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but he's in almost every state. He's a write-in candidate.
Yeah, he's barely on any ballots. It's literally impossible for him to win. The chances of him producing even a small amount of write-in votes is pathetic. But that doesn't mean he can't cash in on this whole publicity stunt with more bland, pointless, and extremely overpriced merchandise.
Yeah, the Kanye 2020 Vision line made its way online this week. And as you'd expect by seeing, I don't know, any of his other merch releases over the years, it's kind of just bland and boring.
And expensive.
And the false scarcity thing where it's you're going to pay for it because this is the only time that Kanye's going to do 2020 Kanye merch.
In 10 years, you're going to look back and be like, damn, wish I'd bought some of that Kanye 2020 Vision merch.
I mean, if only to remember how crazy it was, I guess. Yeah. But anyways, this line in particular looks even more pointless than anything he's done before. It's just a logo flip of the Vision streetwear brand, but with Kanye's name on it on blank clothes. And there's a shirt with the Vote Kanye text on it, which I guess is a step above. And then there's just a shirt that looks like it belongs on one of those sidewalk preachers with a megaphone outside of a comic convention. All of it is for astronomically and completely nonsensical prices, ranging from just $40 for just a t-shirt, which, okay.
Yeah,
I've paid $40 for a t-shirt before.
Yeah, a lot of merch.
Like shirts. Concert merch. Yeah. It gets pretty pricey. Bad. But what is especially egregious is the $160 hoodie that is just a purple hoodie that looks like it could have came off the shelves of Walmart.
Yeah.
And his logo is stitched into the neck, so when you put it on, nobody's going to know that it's even a Kanye exclusive. Please don't buy the stuff. You're just encouraging him.
He put up a video, his campaign video. It's the most bland. It's not exciting. I was really hoping for some bangers, but it's just Kanye complaining about how America's not Christian enough or some shit. But it's edited by probably the same team of editors that edits every political campaign video. And his list of platforms, each one has a Bible verse after it explaining why that is his platform on that subject.
I hate Kanye West now.
Yeah, he sucks.
I used to cherish every album release. That man has made some incredible music, genre-defining, generation-defining music.
Yeah,
and now I dislike him greatly.
Yeah, he played a huge part in the evolution of hip hop over the last 15 years.
Yep.
And have no interest in hearing what he's got in the pipeline at this point.
I wish to never hear from him again.
Yeah.
Yes, please leave us alone, Mr. West.
Anyway, moving on. So we've mostly ignored those smart refrigerators with touchscreens built into them for a while now, because who the hell needs that shit?
Why?
It seems a bit excessive to have what's essentially a TV built into the door of your refrigerator. And we're not even sure what it's used for because there's no point in us looking into them. I think some of them are supposed to use machine vision to tell when you need to buy new stuff.
Open the fridge!
Yeah, I know. And you can
Do we sound like boomers saying that?
Yeah,
because that feels like my first, one of my first, real, back in my day, we had to open up the fridge to see what was inside.
I mean, I think in this one, we're on the side of the majority.
Kids these days,
I've never seen a smart fridge in the wild. Maybe my friends are too poor. Maybe the rich are all about this stuff.
Yeah, what I assume is that, say you're down at the Costco and you're on your phone.
Yeah, you can.
And it's okay, let me look inside my fridge right now.
I'm just picturing my current fridge, and even if there was a camera inside of it, I wouldn't be able to tell jack shit because my fridge is too small and everything's just shoved in there and stacked just any which way it can be.
Yeah, I just eat whatever's in it, and then when I'm done, I go get more.
Yeah.
My fridge goes from somewhat full to completely empty, and then somewhat full because I don't have a family. I'm not saving things to eat for later.
Yeah.
But maybe all the families out there have TV fridges.
I don't know. And it probably has some cool features. It's probably got your calendar on there. Maybe it cycles through your family photos. So when you're in the kitchen, you can,
there's my family.
I think some of them can see what's in your fridge without you opening it. Useful, but dumb. Open the door. Yeah. What is that saving? Seconds of your life. Just open the goddamn door.
Yes. Well, we finally got an actual, real-life, practical use for those fridge TV screens, and it's a feature that's been used as a joke ever since the smart fridges hit the market. Playing video games on them. I mean, previously the joke has been something to the effect of you got killed in Fortnite, and it displays in the game that you got killed from a player that was playing on a Samsung smart fridge or something. Well, that scenario is actually one step closer to reality now because someone was able to run Doom Eternal on a smart fridge using Microsoft's xCloud service.
From The Verge, Instagram user Richard Maller has managed this feat of modern engineering, sideloading the Android version of the Xbox Game Pass app onto his fridge. The app runs in portrait mode on Samsung's smart fridge, but games appear at the correct aspect ratio alongside cheese, beers, and whatever other essentials you store in a fridge. They add that, quote, while xCloud running on a smart fridge is certainly amusing, it also means Microsoft's game streaming service is available on a fridge before it's launched on an iPad or iPhone.
Yeah, and obviously that's because Apple's been pretty restrictive when it comes to these services on their products. We've been covering this for over a month now because of the whole Fortnite thing mainly. Mm-hmm. But good news for people who want to use iPads and iPhones anyway, because Microsoft recently revealed that they'll be releasing a direct browser-based solution for xCloud starting early next year. So it doesn't really matter if Apple allows them into their phones or not. They're coming anyway.
Yeah.
Whether Apple likes it or not, you can just open your Safari browser in there and play if you want to.
Anyway, next up, remember when we spoke about that guy who fought a mountain lion and every time the story layers got peeled back a little bit more, it slowly turned into something that wasn't really that impressive.
He fought a kitten, didn't he?
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it was a fight for his life. And then they did the autopsy. They're like, yeah, by the way, it weighed 30 pounds. I don't know if it was that small, but it was a very small mountain lion. It was a kitten, and he murdered it. Here's some more mountain lion news. There's another mountain lion versus human story this week, and this was the real deal. The full-size, very scary cat stalking someone for what seemed like an eternity, and the whole thing was uploaded to Instagram.
Yeah, Kyle Burgess was doing a bit of jogging on what looks like a beautiful trail in Provo, Utah.
Yeah.
I always get jealous when I see places that have seasons.
Utah's a beautiful state that I, at this point, would still never live in. It's gotten a lot cooler.
Their state parks are beautiful.
Salt Lake City is apparently one of the best food and drink cities in America.
Mm-hmm.
The beer scene there, surprisingly, ironically, pretty strong.
Yeah.
But I'm still just not interested.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, especially right now, it sucks to see seasons because it was 98 degrees here today.
It's hot as balls.
And it's like October 13th.
It's never cooling off.
It sucks. Anyways, this guy, Kyle, he was doing some jogging on a beautiful trail in Utah, and he ran into some mountain lion cubs.
Uh-oh.
Oh, how cute.
You should probably leave those alone,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Unfortunately,
their mom could be around.
Yes, the mother is almost certainly around, and yep, there she is. The following 6 or so minutes were a terrifying ordeal for him as the mountain lion stalked him and looked as though it was ready to attack, pouncing forward a few times, and he just tried in vain to scare it off by shouting. Yeah. Finally, it did give up after he threw a rock at it, and that was pretty much, that's your last-ditch scenario. It's like, either this rock's going to do it or I'm going to die.
Yeah.
That's why you should carry a knife. I mean,
he was at one point in the video, he's like, oh, I should have concealed carry today. I was like, what are you going to shoot a mountain lion? I mean, I guess if it's really, I don't know. Shouldn't have been fucking with those kittens. I think this is karma. And you're lucky you got out.
Well, you just walked up on him though. It's like, listen, there's scenarios where it's not your fault. Bring a knife. Bring a knife. Anyways, we can't show you the footage of this mountain lion stalking this guy, just the still images. He's already licensed the footage to like a viral hog jukin type site, so
boo.
Oh well, but we'll leave a link to the post in the description so you can see the full thing for yourself.
Here's someone we haven't talked about in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Baked Alaska. You remember that guy? No?
No.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
This right-wing grifter guy who at one point had a pretty big platform, but
slowly been whittled away.
Yeah. So
remember when he had his like meltdown and was just walking the streets of Burbank?
His Twitter account. He was like one of the first big like far-right accounts to get deactivated.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, we were back at the old office. This was like 4 years ago.
We were in the machinima office in Burbank,
So he lost his Twitter account and he went on YouTube Live, I think, and just was walking around Burbank with a selfie camera, just like in distress that they took away his Twitter.
Yeah, I was like,
mostly
I know
walking
that.
around an In-N-Out parking lot.
I know that In-N-Out. Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Anyways.
We wanted to drive by him and be like, hey, fuck you,
Well,
buddy.
a bunch of people did in the course of it because he was live for several hours. Anyways, Baked Alaska, the right-wing grifter, recently got into a bit of trouble when he knowingly and willingly decided to look like a total piece of shit live on camera to his audience of degenerates. How did he do it? By heading into a store in Flagstaff, Arizona to just bother some poor, unsuspecting employees by refusing to abide by their mask-wearing policy while berating them and attempting to lecture them on all the reasons why he doesn't have to wear a mask because this is America and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, very
at one point, they offered him a mask. They're like, we have these for customers who don't have them. He's like, oh, thank you. And then he just tosses it. And then he's like, oh, give me another one. They're like, no, get the fuck out of here. You're banned.
Please leave us alone.
The cops are already on your way.
We've done nothing to you, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, it's always weird when people harass employees. Like, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they're enforcing a policy. Like, they might not even like the mask stuff, but it's a policy.
Sir, please, I'm just trying to feed my family.
Stop making a scene.
Please just take the mask. Anyways, he got handled pretty quickly when the police did end up showing up. And,
he folded like a bitch.
Yeah, they detained him for trespassing. And after the video of this went viral off of YouTube, because people were sharing it on Twitter, being like, hey, this guy's up to no good again.
Yeah.
The public pressure resulted in YouTube deleting his channel. It might be permanently. It also might be temporarily. YouTube's stance on these things is very wishy-washy.
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure. But Baked Alaska strikes again, makes a fool of himself, and gets deleted off of another platform.
The videos, he's so cocky. And then the second the cop shows up, he's like, oh, I'm just going. And they're like, no, you had your chance to go. They've been asking you to leave for 5 minutes. Like, this is now this is an arrest situation.
We've given you every option. You could have just been a normal person and put the mask on.
Yeah.
You could have just left because look, if you really care that much and hey, look, you want to boycott our business, please leave.
Yeah.
It's okay to leave.
I read in like some comments, I think he'd been IRL streaming for hours at that point, and some people were saying he'd already encountered that cop earlier in the day. So,
sir, please. Gosh. You're making me do this.
That's why he shows up and he's just like, nope, you're under arrest.
I am tired of your bullshit, Mr. Alaska. I forgot to put it in here, but another just so much fun to watch what right-wing grifting news is that Tim Pool put it out there.
He's like, all right, debate me.
No leftist will debate me.
And a bunch of people like Hassan, Sam Cedar, a bunch of people are like, I will debate you. And then he's like, actually, no, you have to fly to my studio and do an in-person interview like 2 feet away from me. And they're like, no, we were thinking we could do it over Skype. And he's just like, actually, we can't. Like, it's.
I'm not set up for that.
We're not set up for that. And they're like, you need a fucking laptop.
But he didn't even do that. It was, that was in the DMs. He instead went publicly and said, I've DM'd with so many of these leftists.
They're all backing out.
They're all backing out now. And then posting. The people like Hassan was talking about it, but then Tim Pool even posted screenshots.
Yeah, like, you think
himself.
this makes you look good?
It does not. It makes you look like a bitch, kind of.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's especially funny because he literally had a debate with Sam Cedar over Skype like a year ago, and it was famous because Tim looked like a moron because he kept using like Marvel movie references and stuff. Like, it was just explaining everything in the context of like children's entertainment. But he's done fucking debates over Skype.
I cannot even believe, like, if someone out there like even watches Tim Pool unironically to see how he's handling this and be like,
no, they love it.
Those left wingers, they sure are pussies.
They love it. And it's the same as like Trump's fans. They're like, it really sucks that Joe Biden backed out of the debate. And they're like, what are you talking about? Joe Biden doesn't want to get COVID-19 from the president who is coughing out virus particles. And they're like, nope, he backed out.
He'd kiss all the guys in the audience.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
He'll give Joe Biden a big old kiss.
Yeah.
He's not scared. So no debate this week, though. That was supposed to happen this week. Not happening.
Yeah.
Maybe the third one. I don't know.
We'll see.
Anyways, the week's just getting started. We'll be back soon for some tech news for you. In the meantime, check out our most recent episode of Weekly Weird News and News Dump over here, and we'll see you very soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
See ya.